everything, and this time he got a run off turn number 2, and going into turn 3, Jeff Gordon said no mas, and Johnson has the lead. Gordon, Newman, Kenseth.
He can do it. Cut down if he can get down in that hole right there. Looks like
Kenseth's going to shut the door. Gordon walks up the racetrack. Here comes Kenseth to the inside with Hamlin following.
Everybody bumped everybody. Here comes Logano. Hamlin inside. Jeff Gordon.
Kenseth overdrove the corner. Here comes Hamlin.
It is Hamlin. Who's going to win it? Green flag.
Like all these people that were standing up down there.
Boy, Jimmy Johnson taking it three wide down into turn 1.
He's got to, Larry. He's got to go.
Allmendinger has to give. Montoya shoves it off the corner.
But Ryan Newman in the 39 car, he gets the lead off turn 2. White flag when they get back around.
I think the 24 is going to get boxed right here as they try to go 3 wide.
4 wide. Stewart Gordon's hard into the wall. There's Edwards, Allmendinger.
Oh, no, what mess.
Gordon and Stewart, and then cars trying to sweep by on the outside. Menard, Montoya, McMurray, Harvick, or rather Boyer.
Lost his momentum.
And it's Stewart and Jr. versus McMurray, Biffle, Montoya. Trouble, front straightaway in the trial, it's Jeff Burton. Jeff Gordon and Scott Speed.
Warning, I sound very, very laid back in this video. Ha 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 ha. Oh, the time is finally here. Professor Balto will now finally give out the grades for Mr. Big Daddy himself, Jeff Gordon, over the first 9 races of the NASCAR Sprint Cup season. As I said in the pilot, I will go over 8 separate areas of the race team, from qualifying to race day. So, Steve Letarte, are you excited?
Been a long year.
Then let's get to it! Qualifying is pretty much simple. Of the qualifying sessions that we've actually had this season, counting that it's not been rain out, Jeff Gordon and his team has actually qualified pretty well this season. From a 2nd place qualifying effort at Las Vegas, to a 5th at Atlanta, to another 5th at Bristol. Of course, with a good qualifying position comes a good pit selection, and comes a good start to the weekend. So for qualifying, I give this race team a 90, an A. Alright, let's take a minute on the short runs. Now, like I said in the pilot, it is very difficult for a crew chief to have the perfect setup for the race car to go on the short run and the long run. Now, we've seen even in last year, especially with the double foul restarts, that the 24 probably doesn't go as fast as some of the others, but as the run keeps going, the car gets faster. So, I guess we'll give this one an 80 because it's not horrible, but then again, there's not been many cases that we have gained spots on restarts. So, maybe that's something that this team will work on before the chase in September, and I think Jeff said that last Saturday night at Richmond, so we'll certainly see where this leads to in the coming months. Now, after about, I'll say 20 laps or so, the 24 consistently this season so far has been one of the best cars on the racetrack. I think 2 examples I can quickly use is Las Vegas and Phoenix. Las Vegas, early in the race, he was so much better than anybody else early on that race, especially on the long run. He had leads of 5 and 6 seconds. And at Phoenix, after 20 or 25 or so laps, basically just surviving, he would literally pass a car, I'll say, every 2 to 3 laps. So the long run has been a big help for this team. So this one's an easy A, 94. I think it's safe to say that this is the best that Jeff Gordon and Steve Letarte have worked together since their championship run in 2007. Even though there is still a 0 in the win column, and I'll definitely get to that later, the adjustments, the way these two work together, it's come from those two, and it's now working with the rest of the team. In other words, the whole team is now working as a unit, and you could just see the performance on the racetrack, the communication, especially since the spoiler. When the spoiler came in, the cars have gotten even better, so this one is also an A. I'll say a 93. With all the green-white checkered finishes and all the late race cautions, we have seen that pit strategy here so far in 2010 has been an integral part of whoever goes to victory lane. Now with Steve Letarte, he has been on both sides of the spectrum. At Las Vegas, clearly with the best car, 31 laps to go, he decides to take 2 tires, Trackhouse takes 4, 4 beats 2. And then at Martinsville and Phoenix, he used the same pit strategy with 2 tires to put them up front to give the team the chance to win. Overall, it's been a great area, but not clear-cut perfect. So I'll give this area an 86. Now, in the first few races of the year, this pit crew was absolutely on the money. I think either once or twice they lost positions on pit road, and it was because of adjustments to the race car. Now, of course, as the season goes on, you're going to make mistakes, and we've seen that. Seen a couple mistakes on the rear tires, like drop lug nut and things of that nature. Now, of course, the mistakes they made this year has not been huge to the point they've lost many positions on pit road. But of course, when you look at a race like Texas, in which they lost a couple spots and ultimately they got in that big wreck, a little mistake can turn into a huge detriment. So with that in mind, I'll give the pit crew an 85 for the first 9 races. For those that do not know, Jeff Gordon's spotter is Shannon McGlamory, and in my mind, he is one of the best spotters in the sport today. I think the only time I think there's any critical explanation would be in the Daytona 500 with, some strange radio problems that were going on for him, but even that really wasn't his fault. So he's done a great job for Jeff for many years. He knows what he's doing, so this is an easy A, 98. Besides, it's a darn good thing when he says to Jeff Gordon, pace car is off, I'll let you start it. Well, this was the one area I was not looking forward to reviewing. It is no secret the problems that we have had this year of closing out races. Now, of course, most of these races that we've lost in a very close contest have not been our fault. Like, for example, Texas, double foul restarts, everyone trying to gain positions, putting cars in holes that aren't there, and usually a crash happens, and that's what happened with Jeff and Tony and all of them. Then at Martinsville, you had Matt Kenseth and Gordon, and for people that know me, you know how I feel about Matt Kenseth, and for those that don't, let's just say that Matt is not on my Christmas list. Other examples: Phoenix, bad restart; Daytona, bad strategy; Fontana, bad spark plugs; Las Vegas, Talladega. It goes on. But the one saving grace would be Atlanta, with when all the Hendrick cars had their tire problems. What should have been a 30th place finish became a 15th place finish. So based on all that, based on some of the things that have happened which haven't been their fault, I'll give them a 75. But they gotta start winning races, because when September comes, you gotta have those bonus points to have a chance. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this first episode. We'll certainly do more. Next one will be after the Coke Zero 400. So let's see your grades and see you around.